What's good?
Oh, bro, give me a sec. Let me fix this up.
Oh bullshit! I gotta do the same thing.
Hey, nice jumper. I got the same one. How good is it?
No shit.
Yeah, I swear to God, man. Whenever I record early in the morning and it's cold, I always wear that, bro. If you were to go through my YouTube playlist, man, that jumper has made more appearances than fucking Lukaku this season, bro.
Bro,
Honestly,
I love
it's
this too,
beautiful,
bro.
isn't it? The leather
Oh,
stripe in the middle.
yeah, this joint.
Yeah, it's nice, man. I like it a lot. Yeah, we're already recording anyway. Global Interactions, you know what it is. My homie Christian Rivas, and I'm just going to go straight in on Christian Rivas. You're not always right. Not always. But you're pretty good a lot of the time. And I got to give you two props for today, man. You stuck by your boy Vidal, and he busted to the shit. As I was writing my tweet today, I was thinking of you. I'm like, there's only one way for Vidal to do well tonight, and that's if I slam him to the gods like I do to D'Ambrosio, and I just sat back and let the world do the rest. But more
Bro,
importantly, bro, you're always optimistic when other fans aren't. And yeah, in the last season with Conte, it's come to bite you a little bit with your predictions for Barcelona, Real Madrid, I remember. But this time you were really sure. I don't know anyone who was as sure as you, let alone someone who could say it to a camera. So well done, bro. Well done on picking
bro.
that. Well done.
But remember, I said it. It was gonna be a content masterclass. Like, yo, he got everything spot on, bro. Like, it was about time.
Bro, from the first second till the 95th minute, I was actually having fun towards the end. I was like, we could go more. We could go 10, maybe 15 minutes more. And I couldn't believe it was happening against Juventus, a team where I still have post-traumatic stress disorder about the game where we were sent down to 10 men and we came back to lead 2-1 and then Higuain scored in the last second. And today I wasn't convinced even up until the 90 minutes that it was going to be 100% our win. But then I just had to slap myself and go, bro, what are you doing? We have run riot over these guys. So I did a big live afterwards, man. So I'm going to let you talk a fair bit. Where do you feel like the game was won? And talk a fair bit about Pirlo and Conte. Do you feel like today really showed Pirlo's flaws as a non-manager yet?
So look, if you watch the game though from start to finish, yo, Inter dominated. Like yo, from the beginning, them dudes came out with like blood, like the shark that just smelled some blood and was after it. Like they were after it, and for the first time in a while, they look like they are ready to take that next step. Like we've constantly talked about this between me and you for a long time about the mentality being shit. But for the first time, when it mattered, they got it done. And this was a game that maybe a year from now or at the end of this season, we're gonna be like, yo, that was a turning point for Inter as a club to take it to the next level. Because it's always been in the shadows of Juve. It's always been behind Juve. Always Juve this, Juve that, Juve. This is the first time not only did we beat them, but we beat them convincingly. Like the statistics don't do it justice. Like, bro, in the first half, I think we had 7 shots to their one. They had
Yeah.
one shot. Even if they had all the possession during that time, they had just one shot. And we forced Juve to make 3 changes at once in the 57th minute. That showed you that they knew Inter was dominating the game. At no
Yeah.
point did they get a foot into the game.
Not once. They didn't look like scoring once. So yeah, let's go through some of our players and talk about how they bossed their roles in what was an absolute Conte masterclass, bro. I just remember I was watching the game and I'm seeing these big holes when Juventus were trying to push to our left-hand side, and I'm thinking, do you know what's waiting for you on the other side? How do you not realize what's waiting for you on the other side? And I said this afterwards, when we got the ball, we wouldn't give it back to Juventus sometimes for 2 minutes, 90 seconds, 2 minutes. And it was just, I felt relaxed. I felt relaxed for a long time. Handanovic, when he was called into action, came up goods
He
today.
dropped.
Fantastic. He jumped, he saved, he did great, and I'm happy to call a spade and say he was great and fantastic. Not only that, his communication was constant from start to finish. I was watching him scream his lungs off, and that's what Handanovic can do, and that's why I think it's so important to be able to utilize him as a second goalkeeper to nurture the next one ASAP. Defensive-wise, I'll go over to you. I think Bastoni was the best of the back three today. They all bossed it, but Bastoni blew me away. What about you, bro?
So you know how I am about ratings, where like I usually like to rate people between 4 and 6.5, and if you did great, you're a 7.5. But Bastoni was an 8. I don't think anybody was less than a 6.5 today. Like
Yeah,
no,
it's great.
Bastoni to me was an 8.5, 8.7. To me, I'm stuck between him and Barella on man of the match, but I'm going with Bastoni just
Yeah,
because he put Ronaldo in his pocket, bro. Like Ronaldo had to switch sides because he wasn't getting nothing on Bastoni. He switched sides. He ran away from Bastoni like kid's 21 years old.
yeah. But he's
He's
already a boss, bro. He's a beast, man, and like he loves our club, bro. We'll be locking him down to long-term contracts. So, but even De Vrij and Skriniar tonight, man, so comfortable, so composed, so focused. Yeah,
Yeah, no, they did well. You know, you can't take nothing away from what they did, but that Bastoni pass, bro, like, yo, I'm still. Yeah,
oh,
all credit due to Barrera for his finish, but fuck the finish. That ball.
yeah.
Holy fuck, to catch him in stride like that, dude. Like, it was just perfect.
I don't know if it was Chiellini or Bonucci. They had a hand up like this before Barella even got the ball, as if to say, like, how the hell did that happen? Just like that, it was masterful ball from Bastoni. Hakimi, another great performance. Less, you see how he's been taking heavy touches lately, maybe 2, 3 turnovers a game. I think I only saw him turn the ball over once in each half. And I'm happy with that. I thought he was really, really good tonight as well. And a lot of fans have been saying this. He's adapting well on the defensive end as well. He's
yo, he's
just such a pure athlete, and we're very lucky to have him. What did you think of Hakimi today?
he's gotten better. Like, dude, defensively, he's gotten a lot better. You know,
Mm.
that was the biggest issue at Dortmund was he wasn't as defensive. He was just pure attack, attack, attack. Yo, Conte has really started shaping this kid into a different animal. Like right now, the only right back that I would say that's better than him is probably Carvajal. You know, the man that took his job at Madrid. But even then, at this point, I'm looking at them at almost at the same exact level. You know, like
Yeah,
Hakeem something else right now, dude. Like he's legit on another level. This kid's like on cloud nine.
I was thinking this today. I'm like, man, it's not a far shout to say that we've got the most informed centre backs in the league in our back three, the most informed and prolific centre midfielder in Barella, and we'll get to him in a second. The best right back slash right wing side playing player in Hakimi, and we've probably got the best forward in Lukaku as well. So, man, when it rains, it pours, and we're oozing talent in this team, bro. We're oozing talent.
Bro, and remember we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago about top five strikers in the world, and I put Lukaku at 1 or 2 between
Mm,
him and Lewandowski. Yo, like today he surpassed that man.
he
Like
was great.
yeah, like yo, nah, like legit. I don't think Level is better than him now. Nah, dude. Like his touch is ridiculous. Like that turn, bro. That shit was stupid. You
That
know,
was Chiellini, wasn't it? That was on
yeah.
Chiellini.
And they had a good battle. Like they had a
They
real
did
good
well,
battle.
yeah. You could tell they respected each other as well
Yeah,
throughout it, even though it got a little rough.
yeah. But
And
Lukaku,
it was a good decision by Pirlo to put Chiellini on Lukaku because Lukaku would have made a bitch out of Bonucci. That's for damn sure.
yeah, yo, like honestly, I don't even think I heard anything about Bonucci on the night. On a positive note, Ronaldo, Chiesa, none of these guys. Honestly, the main player I was worried about was McKennie. Like, yo, honestly, the kid is something special. Like, credit due when it's due. The kid is something special. He's nice. So I was kind of worried when he came in, but then after like his first minute, I was like, oh no, this kid's not gonna do nothing. Like the Ryan Skriniar just they've got that back line. It wasn't moving, and he wasn't going nowhere near Bastoni. And then the midfield was probably where we won the game. Like honestly, Juve's midfield could not go toe to toe with our midfield. Even when Gagliardini came in, they could not go toe to toe with our midfield. Like that, I think this was the game where the midfield probably played its absolute best to the potential that Conte wanted.
Yeah, bro. Moving to the midfield, oh, what a fucking masterclass, man! All three of them.
Mhm.
Brozovic was, bro. He Pirlo would have been jealous looking at Brozovic as the coach of Juventus, going like, "Holy shit! I used to do that. I used to do exactly what he was doing right there." He made that game look like strings. Barella, don't even get me started, man. I spent the whole morning talking about Barella because, in my opinion, he's the best midfielder in the country. He's so clutch. Yeah, he
Put him
makes some rash decisions.
top
He's still got a lot to grow.
bro. I would even put him top five in the world.
Yeah, man. I love him. I think he's an incredible player. And he's another one that really loves this club as well. We made some right decisions with these purchases, bro. We got a couple of Interistas.
Bro, honestly though, I was impressed with Vidal and the composure and even how he
Just,
celebrated the goal. Like yo, like he showed he's really about this club, and yo, like all these idiot fans out there, like yo, excuse me for calling y'all idiots, but the matter of fact that you guys were saying that he was coming to sabotage the team, and same as Conte coming to sabotage, like come on, dude, these guys are professionals. You know what I mean?
mm,
At the end of the day, yes, they're there to make a paycheck, but they're also going to do their jobs to the best of their abilities, and that goal was well deserved. Like if you look at it, he gave it to Barella and Barella gave it right back to him. It was literally almost a 1-2 between the both of them, and he never stopped his run, and he finished it with such a beauty of a header, dude. Like
yeah.
one that Ronaldo was probably impressed with himself. Like yo, that was a nice header. Like
Yeah.
he had power, he
It wasn't
had
just that, man. Sorry, bro. I'll just say everything that you used to say about him, like, just came together in the last couple of games. He's been playing great 1-2 touches. He gets himself into the smartest positions out of any midfielder I see on the field. He changes positions very quickly. He's not lazy. He's quite smart, man.
yeah, again, I know I get it. Everybody always says, "Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about." Yo, okay, cool, whatever. But most of the time, I'm right, and when I'm right, I'm right. A lot of y'all badmouthed me because I said Alexis was going to turn out to be a good signing. This man had the second most assists in City A last season with half the games that he didn't even suit up that much, and most of them were cameos. You look at Vidal, same thing. I was like, yo, this kid's gonna be good for us. Little kid, he's just my age. This dude's gonna be good for us. You know what I mean? Like, he's nice. Like, we don't have a player with that type of experience or mindset. Like, the word that I kept hearing on ESPN FC that they kept saying about our midfield was grinta. And that's exactly what was shown today. That midfield saw grinta, which was exactly what it is: grit, toughness, strength. They showed up and they put work in on Juve. Yeah, Juve's midfield has been their issue all season. It was the issue at the end of last season. They basically willed themselves because of COVID into the league. This year, I don't think they get it. I still say Milan's gonna start dropping points soon. The pressure's gonna start getting on them. Yo, like right now, this win is going to be the one that we're going to look back at the end of the season and be like, yo, that win was what propelled us to number 19, the Scudetto 19. There's a
I hope.
reason all the pundits keep saying it. They're like, this is Inter's the lose.
Mm. Yeah, I hope so, bro. I love your confidence, man. Ashley Young was probably our most least influential player on the pitch, and I saw him get a little bit of slack, but I don't care. I'm out to defend him again today because I still think it was okay, bro. I still think it was okay. What do you say?
I don't see he was a problem. Also, of course, he was going to be the least influential. Bro, the ball didn't even have to go to his side. We were attacking the
That's
right side.
it.
The tactics dictated to go down the right because of who started there. If you look, if you look at Juve's lineup and formation, you had a player that was in City Chi last season starting there. You get what I mean? Why would you go down the left with Ashley Young when you can have Hakimi and Skriniar and Barella tearing down Frabota? Fucking
Yeah.
Frabota, bro. Like, it's not like they had Alexandra, who I would have loved to see Hakimi rip apart as well, or Cuadrado. Like whoever they would have put there, Regardless, I think Hakimi would have did work regardless who was there.
Yeah, I actually thought Ashley Young on the defensive end was actually pretty good at containing players on the right hand side. I think he did a great job at making sure Kulusevski didn't get around him while they were on. I think they were on at the same time for only a little bit, and then Damian came on as well. That's another thing we'll get to. Conte's subs were they were really good today as well. 10 out of 10 from Antonio Conte today. The forwards, Lukaku. Once we already spoke about Lukaku, great game. Let's talk a little bit about our boy Toro.
Okay,
Yeah, just go.
I got like with Toto with his finishing, I understand people's beef about it. But when you look at a lot of his off the ball movements, and I talk about this a lot, I talk about off the ball movements. As someone that coached, I love to see a player off the ball that works hard, that presses, that sits there and creates mistakes on the back line that can help us capitalize on. Do I wish he would finish better? Yes, but this kid is 23. He's not a 27 or 28-year-old like Lukaku. This kid is 23. He's still finding himself. My opinion still doesn't change about him. I think he's a good player. I think he can be great. He can be amazing. But he needs to find his way of finishing. Like, that's the last thing. If you look at that move where he made Chiellini, where he caught Chiellini with those little feints and leg overs to shoot it, if Paul would have curled a little bit more into the back of the net, we wouldn't be talking about none of those misses. That would be legitimately what we're talking about because he almost made Chiellini fall on his face.
Yeah, yeah.
And he tackled the ball a lot in the last 12, 14 minutes. He was there, that he was on the pitch. I know he got subbed out. In his last 12 to 14 minutes, he was pressing the ball. He was making them make mistakes. He was sitting there tackling. He was dropping all the way back into our own box to help defend. Stuff that we need, bro. Like, we need players like that. We have our focal of attack with Lukaku. That's who needs to be banging all the goals. If Lautaro scores, awesome. But his way of pulling defenders off of Lukaku, his way of opening up the play, his way of doing 1-2s and flicks with Lukaku, it works. It works. So he's doing his job. Not, I do wish he could finish better, but it'll come in time. You know what I mean?
I hope so. I hope so.
Just like 2 weeks ago, he had a freaking hat trick, almost a poker. Now we're questioning his finishing 2 weeks later.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I think he will pick it up. I think he will pick it up because his partnership with Lukaku has been fantastic from the get-go, and that's not something you want to sacrifice at all. We've gone through the players, man. Let's talk a little bit about the tactical setup and Antonio Conte. Bro, what did you think, man? Were you really, really happy with everything that happened?
Dude, it was a legit masterclass when we were attacking. We were going 3-5-2. When we were defending, we were 5-3-2. We had a legitimate iron wall right there. Call it the Great Wall of China because of sunning if you want. But that wall right there literally forced Juve to go wide. Nothing was coming down the middle. Ronaldo was kept at bay. He was literally zeroed out of the game. My man did nothing at all.
Yeah. In terms of our subs, so who came on? Everybody who came on did a pretty good job tonight as well, man. Damian was pretty solid. Alexis came on and held the ball. I don't think I saw him lose the ball once. A fresh Alexis as a substitute. But like this Juventus team was so weak, man. Honestly, there are so many players in that team that shouldn't be there. Not that I'm complaining, man. Give them more contracts, to be honest. You reckon they're garbage?
I've been saying for a while that they were on their way down, and they've really gotten blessed because of, again, referee decisions. As much as I hate to say it, like even today's ref, I'd give him probably a 5 or 5.5 because he was kind of a little inconsistent, but it's still Juve. Like you see some calls that they'll get that we won't get, you know? And honestly, Juve's been blessed to have a lot of these penalties because if it wasn't for that, they would have dropped massive points and they wouldn't have been like 2-point drops. We're talking 3-point drops. Because a lot of the times with Juve, it's not talked about the points lost, it's the points gained because they're not that good. They don't have a creative player. If you look at it, Dybala wasn't there. Who was creating for them? Rabiot? Bentancur? Bentancur is not a bad creator, but he couldn't create against that midfield and against that back line. There was nothing he could do. And that's why I think Pirlo switched to the 3-5-2. When he switched to the 3-5-2 and brought McKennie on, it was meant to give Bentancur more options to be more of a playmaker, and it didn't pan out.
They just Pirlo pretty much went all out attack in the second half, and that's exactly what we wanted. But Conte didn't regress and sit too deep and say bring it on. You just basically said the best form of attack is to make sure that we have some possession on the ball and just to make sure that we're comfortable and sitting in a medium, not a high line at all. We never played a high line, but we didn't sit back and invite the pressure, and it was really good to see, bro.
Well, this was, remember the last game when we were talking about the Inter's mentality, and we were like that they don't press forward against Roma. They don't press forward when Conte was telling them to press forward.
Especially when we have the lead, they like to sit back and think that they can just defend it out.
Yeah, in this instance, this game we didn't. Like you sit there and you see Conte had them pull forward. Even they were doing a high press. When Juve had it on their back line, I give them credit. They were doing good to get it out from the back, but they were being pressed the whole time in the back. It is what it is. They didn't score luckily for us, but this Juve team, like you said, is weak. They're in a real transition period, and I think that's the main reason why a lot of people, a lot of the pundits, they're talking about how bad Juve was instead of how good Inter was, is because it's usually been the opposite.
Yeah.
It's usually the opposite between us and them, where after the game, they won't be talking about how good Juve is. They'll be talking about how bad we were. And for once, it wasn't us. They were going ham on Juve, talking about how they're pretty much, even though they're not done, they're pretty much done. Chiesa really didn't do nothing. Aaron Ramsey definitely didn't do anything. Rabiot was nowhere to be found in the game. The midfield was completely dominated by Barella, Brozovic, and Vidal. At no point did they even get a footing into this game. And you gotta give credit where it's due, where Conte shut down Pirlo. And you can look a couple times of the match. Pirlo was looking like a lost little boy, staring at Conte, sitting there just shouting out orders, and Pirlo's just staring like, "Damn, let me learn
Yeah.
something from this guy."
He's such a placid dude, Pirlo, man. Like, as I said before, it was only 6 months ago that I was seeing him with his feet up, drinking like a $300 bottle of wine in his vineyard, making the jump to first team Juventus coach. I don't know, bro. Maybe because your whole think how you play strategy worked really well for you as a player, but you're trying to tell 11 players to do what you want them to do. Maybe they're just not that good, man. I thought Kulusevski, when he came on, would be a problem because I rate him highly as a player. But once again, he was contained really, really well. And because he came on and he was the focal point, I thought that was weak from Pirlo because I'm like, you're bringing on Kulusevski and chucking him on the right. We know you're about to go through Kulusevski 90% of the time. Have you not learned anything throughout the game? Hakimi has been ripping your ass. And as the game went on, it got worse for them, bro, on the right-hand side. Hakimi was getting in. He should have had a goal in the 90th minute as well. So
Yeah.
I thought Pirlo made some poor tactical decisions tonight. There were gaping holes in Juventus's midfield, man. I've never seen us take such easy possession of the football and absolutely lightning bolt it past their halfway line. It was too easy.
Well, also again, Pirlo, this is his first time. Like you're talking about coach that they hired and everybody was praising, oh, his thesis, his thesis. Every coach that gets a coaching license has a good thesis. Like, okay, you put a good thesis out there, but now you need to implement that thesis. And with all due respect to Pirlo, as a player, you were great, but as a coach, look at what you have, bro. Any coach like Seedorf or Gattuso, when these guys started, they would have mouthed at having Marotta, Ronaldo, or Arthur, Bentancur, Chiesa, Danilo, Bonucci, Chiellini,
It's still a
like
stacked side.
Bernardeschi, Kenny. They would have loved to have that when they got their start at Milan. They never did. Even Stramaccioni would have loved to have a lineup like that. So the simple fact to me, if you don't finish in the top four, which I don't think they will, I think they'll finish at fifth. It's just Juve is in a transition period, and they're not doing anything for themselves right now. They're not doing anything for themselves. Do I think Pirlo gets the sack? Not so early. Maybe I'll say towards the end of the year, if they finish in fifth place outside of Champions League, oh, he's definitely getting the sack. But at that point,
Are
who do you
you
bring?
Are you writing Juve off for the Scudetto like completely already? Like you don't think they're going anywhere near it?
I don't think they'll be. So they're there now. But the thing
Yeah.
is, with so many flaws with Juventus right now, like, yo, if you had told me at the beginning of the season, I'm definitely not completely writing them off. I'm saying top three. Then as the season started wearing on, so I'd go top four. Now after today's performance, where the holes are becoming more evident, and the lack of, how should I say this? The lack of Pirlo being able to make the right tactical moves to get them back in the game was even more evident. You know,
Yeah.
like, again, I credit him from switching from the 4-4-2 to go into a 3-5-2 and start attacking more. But when you started doing that, you had no answer for Inter's counters. There was no answer for the counters. So
Yeah.
your whole point was attack, attack, attack. Well, who's going to defend? Your defenders were getting shredded apart by Inter's counters, which is probably one of the best counter-attacking football teams in Europe.
Oh, we're definitely one of the best counter-attacking football teams in Europe, man. We like, how can you not be intimidated by a Lukaku, Lautaro, Hakimi, Barella, Brozovic, Vidal screaming down your throat, man? Like everybody was making efforts, everybody was running their lines, everybody was doing great. Apart from Brozovic, who didn't need to, he just dictated the game. He didn't press up too high, and I thought Brozovic was fantastic today. It was one of his vintage performances, man. So yeah, bro, happy days. And now it's just about beating those smaller teams, man. Don't let this opportunity slip because, as you said, Milan have got to drop points eventually. I think they've got Cagliari tomorrow, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
Cagliari
Today for you, I don't
Udinese.
know. Tomorrow for me.
Same thing.
Yeah. So, and who have we got next, man? Let's have a look. I think it's Udinese or Benevento. Let's have a look.
Our next game is against Udinese, and then we got Milan in the Coppa Italia.
Udin. That's right. Cool. 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 What do you think? You think we should go and win Coppa Italia as well? I'd like to win Coppa Italia.
Don't ask me that because I told you last time how I feel. I want the Scudetto.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want the Scudetto too, bro. It would feel amazing. It really would.
To me,
You
I want to beat Milan just to stick it to them. But I'm not mad if we beat them and then we're out the next round. Like whatever, cool. I just want Scudetto.
you
I
want
don't.
to. What would be best now would be to go on like this massive run domestically in Serie A where we put together something like another 8 wins in a row. Another 8 wins in a row like we did before, man. That would be just like nail after nail after nail. It'd be brilliant. And I know that you reckon that's what Conte is telling them. Every Serie A game is 3 fucking points. Excuse my language, but that's what he's saying, bro. Get these points. We've got this.
Yeah, and the thing is, Conte is telling them that, and Conte is also telling them, look, man, we lost a couple games in the Champions League before, growing pains. We're still growing as a unit. We're still growing as a team, but we're finally getting to where we need to be. You rolled off 8 straight wins in Serie A. You just beat Juventus. At this point, this is you growing as a unit. You guys are no longer a bunch of individuals. You are a team. You guys
Mm.
are finally becoming what I want. You're becoming an image of me, having a lot of grinta, a lot of balls, and doing what needs to be done to win. And again, I think if you're asking me now at the end of the season, I think we're going to be there. I think I'm going to get a jersey that says 19 and Conte on it.
Wow, bro. Wow. You know what, man? It would be amazing, bro. And you're going to be here on the ride with Inter Worldwide, bro. So it should be fun. Your man of the match was Bastoni, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's tough for me to pick between Bastoni and Barella, but the way Bastoni really held that back line and the way
Yeah.
he zeroed out Ronaldo to make him switch sides, and then the way he really saved off a lot of counters, and the way he was just there, man, he was just a boss. And then that pinpoint pass, beautiful, you
Yeah.
know, beautiful.
One more thing. Does the potential sale of Inter worry you?
No,
Why not?
you got to look at it from a logistics standpoint. It's something I give them respect for. If they understand that China's not going to let them invest overseas, why would you keep a hold of it in hopes that China doesn't? If you sell a minority stake just to get through the next few months or the next year to at least get out of the whole COVID, economic downfall, cool. If you sell outright, I don't blame you. It's just you got to look at what's best for the team, what's best for, and also I don't believe half those rumors out there that inter players haven't gotten paid. Like, come on, dude.
I didn't believe it either, bro.
Right before the derby, like,
You
have
see?
you
Did you
not?
see the photo? Did you see the photo of the dressing room after the game of how happy everybody looked? That doesn't look like a team that hasn't gotten a paycheck in 4 months and didn't buy Christmas presents for their family, bro. Come on.
I didn't get a paycheck in 2 weeks. I'm fuming. You talk about 4 months?
Nah, come on. Come on. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much it, man. 3 points against Juve. Next one up against Udinese. Anything to say before we leave?
I'm gonna say we beat Udinese, we beat Benevento, we take out Lazio, we take out Genoa, and then we'll see what happens with Atalanta. We're gonna go on a run. This Juve game, like it probably motivated them.
Mm. All right. Like, subscribe, Footsie Into Worldwide. Ciao. Thanks, Christian.
Later.